And we are live. Yeah, Gamers, we are here. Tyler's playing MLB The Show right now.
You're damn right I am.
All right. I'm going to... Wait, hold on. All right, we're just going to wait for a couple more people to come in, then we're going to start.
You got it.
It's me.
Oh, they updated that. Okay.
Yeah, I changed it around. Because when I was doing the not the round table, the watch along with Robert, we tried to do it on both channels, but you got to pay money for that. So I'm like, oh,
that's weird.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. All right. Give me 1 second here. So, Tyler, you all right? Your back hurt, buddy?
Yep, I'm good.
Oh, you're good now?
It's just a tad bit sore, something to worry about.
You working tomorrow?
Yep, but tomorrow is half day, so
right.
It's rest at the beginning.
All right, guys, hit that like button. We already have 4 likes on it right now.
All right, there we go. There we go.
Oh, my God.
What?
Yeah. So remember how I was telling you about the video I did?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I started to go through the comments there.
Yeah. I was laughing. I was like, thanks for the video. Thanks for the view, buddy. And DJ Eastwood commented on that a couple times.
Jokic is a good player, but he's not winning MVP this year.
Who?
It's not happening.
Who?
Jokic.
Who do you think will win it? Giannis?
Oh, like I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with NBA as much as I have been with baseball recently, but I think I'm going to finally give in to Hyde and say Embiid.
Finally, some common sense into your head.
Okay, you know what? Just for that, screw you. It could be James Harden.
He's actually up there in the top 5. I'm not.
Good. He's going to win it.
All right. Now with basketball talk, let's start off with Lamarcus Aldridge retired a couple days ago due to a health concern. Now, this caught me by surprise because he was playing the Minnesota Timberwolves the night before we played the Nets, before the Sixers played the Nets, and then he retired that day. So, he was in the league for like 16 years, bro.
Has it really been that long? Oh my God.
15 to 16 years that guy's been in the league. Man. So that makes you think.
For me, I'll personally remember his entire time that he was on the Trailblazers with Dillard, man. Like, that was some fun basketball to watch during that time period.
Yeah, prayers. Guys, spam the prayer emoji in the comments, in the chat, please, because he's one of my favorite players of all time now. I can say that. You know what we should do? One podcast, maybe like next month. You and I, and if we get a guest or something, come up with our own top 10 of favorite players of all time.
Actually, while we're still on the topic of Lamarcus Aldridge, before we get too far off topic, do you think he'll be a Hall of Famer?
No.
No.
My dad and I were talking about this. He didn't do as much. I'm going to look up his career stats right now, actually. So I don't think he's going to be, because he didn't win a championship. 1, 2, he didn't even. Hold on, let me scroll down here real quick. Come on, it's like a Hall of Fame thing here.
Like there's like minimum requirements to get into the Hall of Fame.
No, it's like the percentage. Hall of Fame probability. 50%, 51 round up. So for Aldridge, 51%, yeah.
That's still decent. Like, yeah, I don't think he was ever going to be like a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I think he could.
No. I haven't looked at this until right now. So 51, I'll take because he. I'm gonna look at the All-Star games. He did 7 All-Star games. Okay, 6 All NBA, 1 All Rookie, 3 MVP shares. What? Oh, that's nothing. Points. Where's he in career points? Oh, he didn't even make over 20,000 there. Points per game is like not even 20. So, I mean, it's a hit or miss. It's a hit or miss here with him.
I don't think he'll be in there like his first trip around or anything like that, but I think he will be eventually a Hall of Famer. It's just not going to be for quite a while. He's not going to be someone like LeBron James, who's definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame the second he's available to go in there. But, I think he'll be some years out, but he'll get there eventually.
Now, I'm just talking about his shooting right now for Lamarcus Aldridge. Dude, he had before last year, I would say, he wasn't shooting many threes. He was shooting a lot of mid-ranges. So he definitely developed his game and he was a decent 3-point shooter. I think he was like 30% at least.
Wow.
Which is like very good.
Career too, to be able to start doing that stuff. Like that's because he was pretty late into his career and able to adapt to that kind of play style as well. Like that's kind of incredible.
Yeah. You know who else did that?
Who?
Brook Lopez. He didn't shoot a lot of threes in the beginning of the year until he got to the Bucks. Or Nets. Or the Brooklyn Nets, then the Bucks.
Brook Lopez is weird, man.
So is Robin Lopez.
You know what's even weirder?
What?
George Lopez.
Okay, are we just going to talk about Lopez's?
I think we named them all, though. There's no other relevant Lopez's.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly. Can't name any. Rick, you are not about to Google famous people with the last name Lopez.
No, I'm not. I went to here.
See, I think an interesting thing to talk about as well with Lamarcus Aldridge is, do you foresee him possibly coming back as a coach of some kind or an assistant?
Well, I can see that, but because of his heart problem or anything, not anytime soon. But let's say, hypothetically, everything becomes okay with the heart situation and he comes back. Can you imagine him doing that? Like, there's plenty of players, including Michael Jordan, I'll throw that in, who retired, then came back.
Well, I don't think he'll ever be able to come back with his heart condition. Like, it's one thing, like, I don't going to go to a completely different world when I do this, but I'm going to bring up Edge from the WWE and how he had a massive injury to his spine that if he took one wrong bump, pardon me.
You're good.
Where if he took one wrong bump in a match, he could be paralyzed for life.
Same with Daniel Bryan, same with Pate.
But eventually, I guess he got better, or he had surgery to repair it. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. And then, he made his miraculous comeback. I think he main evented WrestleMania Day 2 or whatever.
Yeah,
a little bit of a comeback story for him. But
people are mad that he didn't win.
When it's a heart, when it's something going on with your heart, it's not like if anything, like if you try to get any surgery done to do anything to your heart, if something goes wrong, it's not like with the spine where we're at the very worst and it's a real bad thing still. You'll be paralyzed, but at least you'll still be alive. If you get surgery done on your heart to try and fix what's wrong with it, and it fails, you're dead.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where is it truly worth the risk? And for Lamarcus Aldridge, I don't think it is. I think he'd much rather, enjoy the time he has, try and spend more time with his family and, try and start to adapt to a normal life again. But
I'm looking up how old is he.
I think he's in his late 30s.
So do I. I think that too. How old do you think, just for fun?
I want to say 37.
2 years off, bro. 35.
Damn.
Hey, he had a good career. Hall of Fame worthy? Debatable.
But, I think he can still have a comeback as a coach, potentially maybe an assistant, try and teach the youth of tomorrow some of his tricks.
Now, let's talk about the injuries in the NBA right now, because it's really bad. Donovan Mitchell just got injured the other day. Jamal Murray went down. You had Kevin Durant, massive injuries. You had LeBron, I'll throw that in. He's still out. Like, there's all these all-star MVP caliber players that are getting injured, and people are blaming it on NBA because of this compressed schedule and whatnot. Do you agree with that statement?
So, I think that has something to do with it. I really do, because when you're trying to condense so many games in a shortened time frame like they're trying to do, it's going to cause a lot more wear and tear on the bodies than during a normal season, because you'll have more downtime in between games. Like, you might have long stretches of games straight, but there's going to be some good amount of downtime after you're done that stretch to, try and relax those muscles and, try and revigorate yourself in a way. But when you're trying to do these many games in such a short span, it causes a lot of stress on the body. Muscles are going to, stay tight after games. And that's just begging for a lot of problems there with, you can risk tearing muscles. You can risk having things pop out of place. It's just, that's always been a problem, especially with these fast-paced sports, is trying to condense these seasons down. It's really hazardous to the players. Like, I'll bring this up, like how the MLB last year, what they did is they shortened their season. If I understand, they didn't have that many injuries because of the pace of play. When you have a slower pace of play, you can afford to have shorter seasons and you're playing more games in that time frame. But when you're in such a fast-paced and active sport like basketball, football, things like that, when you're trying to do so much in so little time, it's just asking for all these injuries to happen.
No, I'm glad you brought up the NFL, because with them adding an extra week to the season, I feel like that's good for the fans, bad for the players. I made a video about it like a month ago.
I don't necessarily think it's that great for the fans either, because how much that, like, there's very few times I feel where that 17th game has truly mattered. Like, yes, it'll be important for the wild card teams that are trying to fight in there. So you'll have like 4 fan bases that actually are going to pay attention that 17th week, but every other team, they don't really care. Because by, that 17th week rolls around, it's pretty much decided the standings as where the teams are landing, whether you're going to be in actual playoff contention or if you're just a scrub tier team. So how much are you really gaining out of that 17th game,
I agree 1,000% on that. I just don't want more players to get hurt and ruin their chance of livelihood. Like, I just don't want to see that risk. That's just me. But for the fan standpoint, I want to go into this. I want to say, for the fans getting an extra week of football, I mean, it goes hand in hand to what you said with the placements of other teams and whatnot. It goes into that. But I'm a football fan, so I'll watch any game. So if there's like a good game on between the Buccaneers and the Seahawks.
Are you going to go to a 17-week game and then care if, like, the Eagles are facing, like, the 1-15 Jets? Like,
I mean, I'm a diehard Eagles fan, bro. I'll still watch it.
But it's like it doesn't really bring anything to the sport. If you truly wanted to add more games to make it meaningful, they needed to add at least 2. And even then, that's a huge stretch. That's something that the player associations would never agree to because of how much wear and tear these football players are already taking on their bodies. It's just that an extra week of regular season football doesn't make more sense to me.
Okay.
Unless this is a sign that they are thinking about adding an expansion team, which is why I'm hoping is why they're adding the 17th weekend. Because if they're adding expansion teams in, that could also mean that we could be seeing a second bye week for these football teams as well. And that could also bring something new, fresh to the league as well.
Yeah, I didn't think about expansion teams like that. I didn't think about that at all. NFL at the end of the day, any of these sports, NFL, baseball, hockey, anything, it's all about the money. They don't really care about the fans as much. We can all agree on that. So if it was
just want all their money.
Exactly. If it was based off the fans, they would not have done that and add an extra week of preseason. Did they add an extra week or did they take one?
They took away a week. It's only 2 weeks of preseason now, which I don't really agree with. I think 4 weeks was too long. I don't think they needed 4 weeks. I think 3 weeks should have been the medium there.
Mm-hmm.
I think 3 is the perfect amount of time. You got 1 week to give your starters some snaps and then rest them. Second week, give them maybe half the game, and then give your starters a little bit more play time the third before resting them. So this way they're all prepared for the regular season. But with 2 games, it's kind of the same with like the NBA season right now. You're trying to force your players to do so much in so little time to really get ready for the season that I feel like there's going to be a lot more preseason injuries that are going to happen because of it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go back to NFL and let's talk about the signings with James Conner going to the Browns. Going to the Browns for one.
Conner.
I don't know why I read it wrong. Clowney. For having Clowney going to the Browns for 1 year, $10 million. Yeah. You called it, bro. You called it.
It's one of those things where you look at Clowney, and while he hasn't been like the guy for any of these defense teams, he's still an absolute beast, especially when it comes to rushing the quarterback and trying to stop the running game. Like, he is very good in that regard. But when you have him and you team him up with someone like Miles, it's just a great combination there on that defense. That should be a lot of trouble for those teams in the AFC.
Yeah. Are they a Super Bowl contender?
I'm going to hold that off until I see how they draft. I do think their defense is almost secure. Maybe they could get a better corner or safety to try and shore it up a little bit more, but I do think the biggest key right now is they just need some more studs for Baker to throw to, or maybe even some more guys to protect him on that O-line.
Is OBJ still in the Browns?
As of now, yes, he is. I haven't heard any news about him leaving yet, but there has been those rumors of him wanting to go to Tampa Bay, excuse me.
Yeah, you said that the last time.
Yeah, to play with Tom Brady, but I haven't heard anything about that said. So as of right now, he is still a Brown. And if he comes back to the Browns and he's healthy and he stays that way, I see no reason why they can't make a Super Bowl run. We saw what they did without him for they lost in week 3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played 13 games, 15 games without their star wide receiver, and they managed to almost upset the Chiefs. With Odell, they could possibly be Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, I can see that. But I feel, who's their running back now?
Nick Chubb, and I believe they still have Kareem.
Okay, they're going to running back. They have the weapons. I think this is when they come down to coaching. Can they out-coach the other team?
And I do, with how they played last season, because you also got to keep in mind of what they did against the Steelers in their very first playoff game. You want to talk about their coach. They lost almost all their star players, and they couldn't even have their coach on the field and they still managed to put up 28 points in one quarter against the Steelers, one of the best teams in the AFC that year until the tail end there. But it's like, I do think they have a genuinely good coach. I think at this, they have pretty much all the pieces they need. They just have to put them all together, and I think they got it.
Now, let's rank the AFC teams. Let's rank them. So, are the Browns
Before we do that, I do want to actually answer this question real quick, just because it pertains to what we're talking about right now. Should Landry move? And for me, I can't really say. I don't know how his relationship is with Odell or Baker Mayfield, and if he's comfortable being the number 2 guy or not for that team. But as a number 2 receiver, Landry is well above almost every other number 2 in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he should stay put.
Yeah,
he's definitely going to get his touches.
I don't know if this is a contract year or not for him, but if it is, I see no reason why he would have any reasons to leave until his contract is up. Because if they make a deep postseason run, it comes down to one of two things: of the Browns are either going to sign him to a pretty hefty extension, or a team is going to pay him a good amount of money in the offseason for his services. Because I do think Landry could be a genuine number 1. He showed that before the Browns made the trade for Odell, because I believe they had a season with him and Baker Mayfield without Odell. And even this past season, they had Landry and Mayfield, putting up some great stuff together there. So I think he stays put for now. Whether he stays in the year or 2 from now, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I do. Hey, Samuel, what's up, man? What's up? How's everything going with you? So let's talk about the rankings. We don't actually have to rank 1 through 5. Let's just pick the teams who are better than the Browns, in your opinion, my opinion.
And the entirety of the NFL or the AFC?
Just the AFC. Just the AFC. The Chiefs are up there.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs will outnudge. Actually, I don't even know if I can say that anymore, because they did lose a couple of key O linemen there in the offseason.
They did.
I don't even know that.
Wait, you said O line or D line?
O line.
O line. Well, they still do have the weapons. The defense is there.
But here's the thing: their defense, they definitely have some absolute studs there, but their defense is above average because of how great some of their players are. Like Tyrann Mathieu, I believe DJ Shark, I believe is his name.
Right, yeah, you got it.
He can be, when he's on his game, he can be an absolute stud on that line. But
so, are you picking the Browns over the Chiefs?
That's a hard one.
I'm picking Chiefs.
For me to pick the Chiefs over the Browns,
guys, I want you guys to know as Tyler's thinking. Let me know who you guys have over the Browns in the AFC. I want to know.
For me to pick the Chiefs over the Browns, it comes down to that Browns O-line. You saw what happened last Super Bowl when Patrick Mahomes doesn't have a good enough O-line.
Right, yeah. We were on the phone about that, arguing about that for an hour.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where Andy Reid, I love the guy, but he is one of the most stubborn coaches to have.
Of course.
There was one thing he loves, and that is chucking the ball deep no matter what. He could literally have 5 kindergartners at the O-lineman, and he'll still chuck that rock deep as the play. And it's one of those things where it infuriates you, especially when you saw when they ran the ball in the Super Bowl, they were actually doing pretty good with it. But again, for me, it comes down to that O-line. If he can pull off some Andy Reid magic, get that O-line tip-top shape, maybe draft a good young tackle or guard in the draft, I will say the Chiefs. But if they don't get Mahomes the O-line he needs, I'm going with the Browns.
Okay. All right. You know what? I always wanted to ask you this. It just came to mind. Who do you take, OBJ or Tyreek Hill? Because I remember you said this to me. I remember you said, and I quote, if Tyreek Hill gets an injury, he's done. He will never be back. So,
my specific words where he was one leg injury away from never being the same player again.
okay.
Because a good majority of Tyreek Hill's offense comes from his speed. He's like one of the biggest deep threats in the league because of his speed alone. Like you saw what happened when he was lined up with Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman had to take like, what was it, a 10, 15 yard?
It was like 15 yards back, yeah.
15 yards back, just so this way he could make sure he could attempt to keep up with him when he's running down the stretch. Now, Richard Sherman may not be the fastest guy, but he's not going to be lining up 15 yards away from just anybody now. So I think it comes down to
for OBJ, if I'm correct here, for OBJ, I think he's better than Tyreek Hill and one to let's how do I say this? Let's say he was getting thrown the ball deep.
OBJ is more of the complete package, in my opinion, because OBJ, he can pull off a spectacular catch in his sleep.
That is true. Yo, what's up, Philly Foothills?
On the field and then one hand catch a touchdown ball. Like, he's insane when it comes to these catches. But another thing I like pointing out is the route running as well, because that's extremely important. I think that's going to be the decision for me. And I think I got to take OBJ in that regard as well. Like, OBJ can run some nasty routes. Like, he can make the defenders look like absolute garbage when he cuts those corners, man. We allow Tyreek Hill, I feel like he can definitely run a good route here and there, but I feel like he's more just one of those guys you just send deep and then throw in the ball.
Now, Foothills brings up a good point. He says OBJ better than Hill, ? Maybe when he can stay healthy.
Well, that's the case for OBJ, definitely.
That's the case for Tyreek Hill as well.
Yeah. Well, Tyreek Hill doesn't have that big an injury concern, but the biggest threat is if he's going to one day get a leg injury from how fast he's running. I generally do think he is one bad leg injury away from possibly never being that same player again.
Okay, I agree with that.
It'll be up to him to try and reinvent his entire game, which a lot of NFL greats have managed to do that. As they get older, they have to reinvent themselves. I forget the name of the running back, and I can't believe I'm forgetting his name.
Give me the
team.
There
was a running back who, in his youth, relied heavily on his speed, try to get out to the edge and rush for those long touchdowns. But then towards the later years, he didn't have that same explosiveness and speed.
I need the team.
Power back.
I need the team.
I generally can't remember it right now. I remember hearing the story and being amazed at how you can reinvent yourself to the complete opposite play style. But
don't tell me it's Bo Jackson.
I don't think so. I don't think. Although Bo is an absolute stud. If he didn't get injured, man would be a Hall of Famer in 2 sports.
Yeah. So, Foothills said here, I liked OBJ since leaving the Giants. Funny how that works.
Well, you see, it kind of works out when we're Eagles fans and we ain't got to worry about him trying to do the catch to us.
Now, Foothills, we're excited to have you on next weekend for the mock draft, for the whole first round of the mock draft. Not just the Eagles.
Make sure you guys watch it. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be 1 to 30. 1 to 30, we're going to have 6 people on here at once. That's my goal. Right now, we got me, Tyler, obviously, until something happens with work or whatever. Hopefully. I'm just saying, dude. Am I wrong? Okay. So we got me, Tyler, Foothills, Hunter Doyle from Philly Insider Podcast, maybe Philly Mike, maybe Philly the podcast. So I really want those 2 guys on. I really do.
I mean, you should. They're really good guests.
Yeah. So I forget where we're so you got the Browns. So who are you taking? OBJ or Tyreek?
I'm taking OBJ. Like I said before, for me, the tiebreaker came down to the route running, which is what really separated the two. And I think OBJ has that advantage.
Okay. And Foothills, I'm going to be sending out a group chat once I get all the guests in. Once I get all the guests in, I'll be doing a group chat. So, yeah. So I'm Foothills. I really want to know what you think. Chiefs or Browns? Like, I really want to know who you think about that.
Send the invite. Get him in here.
If he's good, like Foothills, if you're open to come on right now, I'll send you the link on Twitter. So, and it's funny how last time we were on, my camera wasn't working. Now it is.
Gotta love it.
You got believe me, Foothills, I am on it. Like Tyler and I, we've been doing this for like what, a month and a half?
Mm-hmm.
This is our 7th episode.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Lucky number 7.
Yeah, this is your 6. You missed one.
Yeah, semantics.
Yeah, that group will be insane. I can't wait for that. So, yeah, Foothills, if you're free right now, come on in. Like, seriously. And there was something. Okay, what other teams are you taking what team do you take over the Browns since you don't have the Chiefs?
The only one that could possibly have a chance, just because I'm not sure how well they could contain him inside the pocket, would maybe be
Let me guess.
the Ravens, just because it is hard to keep Lamar in the pocket. But if you can manage to keep him in the pocket and force him to focus on his throwing, I think you have a really good shot. Because while he is definitely not the running back people were calling him a couple of years ago, and he has definitely developed into more of a mobile quarterback, I still think that he relies very heavily on his ability to get out of that pocket. So, making sure you're able to contain him and then trusting your secondary to be able to cover those wide receivers, because he doesn't exactly have the greatest wide receiver core to work with.
That is true.
Yeah. So
now, I'm just throwing this out. The Patriots.
I'm going to disagree with you there.
No, I'm asking you. I'm not taking them. I'm asking you.
So do I think the Patriots are better than the Browns?
Yeah.
I'm going to say no.
Agreed.
And I'm going to explain why as well. So while the Patriots are definitely, I think, being slept on for this upcoming season, because they're getting back a lot of their core, especially on that defense after this COVID season. The reason I still think they won't be better than the Browns is due to, one, how their core is still extremely good, but they are starting to get up there in age. And there is only so much you can do on defense against these group of guys, especially when you're getting up there into your older state. But I'm also looking at Cam Newton, and I'm wondering if he will have a bounce back season. And, after losing his most reliable wide receiver, I can't see it.
I can't either.
Edelman was the smallest version of a tight end you could have. He's one of the most secure catches, has the softest hands and could catch literally anything, as we've seen over the years. But it's just, who else is he throwing to? Yes, he has two of the best tight ends in the league, and he's got Nelson Aguilar, who had an okay season since he's left.
Who's their running back?
I think they have Michelle still, don't they?
Maybe, yeah. I think you're right.
I forget. It's one of the two. It's either White or Michelle. But it's just, I don't know if Cam's going to be that same player. I really don't. I don't think he's going to be able to be the same player he was in Carolina. I think all his best years are behind him. And while I will put respect on his name, I think he's done a lot in the league, and he's definitely proven it with his MVP season. But I don't think he's going to succeed this year.
I think it's a problem with Bill Belichick because I think it's bothering him so much that Brady got out and got a Super Bowl without him, and now it's like eating in. It's like Brady is living in Belichick's head rent free, pretty much.
See, I feel like people are starting to overplay how much it bothers Belichick that Brady has won a Super Bowl. From what I understand, they definitely were on the best of terms when they left, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. If anything, I think it's the media that keeps trying to drive that narrative, like, into everyone's head that, yes, like, Belichick is upset because he didn't win a Super Bowl, but Tom Brady did without him, blah, 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 blah. I disagree with that. To me, I think it's Belichick is getting desperate because this is the first time in a long time that he's had a losing season. And I think that's what's eating at him the most is knowing that his best wasn't enough to even get to 500. And I think that's either going to drive him to a deep playoff run. I don't think he'll make it to the Super Bowl, but he'll either make a deep playoff run and try and silence those haters, or everything's about to blow up in his face.
Maybe we'll go back to basketball, but right now I'm enjoying talking about football right now. Like Tyler and I had a good debate going right there. I feel like, don't you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe if you ask us a basketball question, maybe I'll answer it. But
at worst, we'll try and answer it at the end of end there.
Yeah, man. I still can't believe it. 1K less than a day.
All right, that's also congratulations.
Thank you. Dude. So I've been doing these shorts for a couple of days now, here and there, and I thought, you know what? This video may not do as well. Maybe like 200, 300 compared to the other ones. But, dude, as soon as I woke up, it had 80 views. The next time I checked, it had 300. The next time I checked, it had 400, had like 500. And then
you got a formula.
Yeah, and I was talking to Philly Sports Podcast, Robert. I was messaging with him throughout this whole time. And I'm like, he's like, dude, this is insane. Enjoy it. I'm like, dude, I don't care about the views. You know that. You guys know that. I don't care about the views. It's just nice to see something that kind of blew up, in my opinion. It blew up for my standards. So it's kind of nice to see that. Earl, what's up? Now, Earl is a good friend of mine, okay? He just started a wrestling podcast, a wrestling experience with Earl Cole. Now, I saw he's a great knowledge to wrestling, WWE, AEW, all of that. So, Tyler, one day, me, you, and Earl would strictly talk about wrestling. One day, maybe on a hit channel, I'm not exactly sure. But, Trust the process. Yo, what's up? All right, now let's get back to some football. James Conner signs with the Cardinals. Now, I was just thinking about this right before. I was just thinking about this. How far do you see the Cardinals going with James Conner?
I'm not sure, if I'm being quite honest. So James Conner was the back in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
But that's because he had no choice in the matter. So if you think about it, his first real season with them was the year that Le'Veon Bell set out the whole season in 2018. That was when we God dang it.
All right. Sorry about that. I did something, but I'm back. I'm back. Tyler, where are you? Do I have to text you again? Tyler, do I?
Hello.
I hit something by accident.
What'd you do?
I hit something by accident on my mouse.
Oh, is that why my entire thing froze?
Oh, that I have no clue.
Okay, I was about to say, did I just lose connection?
I don't know.
So where did I get to before it cut me off?
It was James Conner and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then you brought up Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, so he got his real chance after Le'Veon left.
Yes.
And they figure, you know what, he's good enough, we'll keep him. And since then, they haven't really had any other running back. You know, I don't even know if they've drafted one in the earlier rounds since 2018.
Now, here's actually a funny thing. When it was take before James Conner for a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, Hines Ward, right? Right?
I believe so.
Okay. Then now, I thought it was going to be James Conner and Juju leading the way, following their footsteps, and then them getting a new quarterback, and obviously that didn't work.
Nope.
So I just thought he was the future, and now that he's on the Cardinals, it's like, man, where do you think?
It really surprises me, too, that the Cardinals went out for his services, because that means that they really see something in him that's going to help bring this whole team together on offense. Because do we still have any word if
I love you, dude.
What's his name?
What are you talking about here?
Trying to remember the guy's name. Why can't I remember his name?
Oh, eight.
Number, is it 13?
What are you talking about?
Who's the wide receiver from the Cardinals? Oh my God.
Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Hopkins?
I remember Larry's name. That's weird.
Hopkins and Fitzgerald.
Yeah. It's Larry Fitzgerald I was thinking of. Like, have we heard if he's, like, retiring or anything after this season? Like, do we know what's going on with that?
I didn't hear anything.
All right. Well, I'm just going to assume that he's coming back next season. But, you already have, like, two great wide receivers if Fitzgerald does come back. And I
Christian
think
Kirk.
Yeah, Kirk's also actually underrated receiver.
Yeah, and guys, Hunter from Philly Insider Podcast will be on next week. Hunter, it's going to be a mock draft 1 through 30. Not just the Eagles, 1 through 30. Okay? So we got a lot. Tyler's making me do homework.
Yep. It's okay. I gave myself homework in doing that.
So, yeah, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Actually, it was my idea.
Anyways, though,
Christian Kirk, good.
Yeah. They have, like, some good weapons that they have for their young quarterback. Their defense, they got
Andy Isabella.
I'm not too familiar with Andy myself. I had
I'm
to
not either.
Look into him myself, but it's one of those things where it's like they have a lot of good pieces on offense. Their defense, like they have J.J. Watt, but
really, Hunter, god dang, 150. Damn. Okay, more respect to you.
Mm-hmm.
And Hunter, you gotta have us on, man. You keep on talking about, okay, we're going to have you on here and here and here. And like, all right. So, Cardinals or the Bucks? I still got to go Bucks. I got to go Buccaneers.
The Cardinals to the Bucks, I was the Bucks 100%. The Bucks have an incredible offense led by the GOAT. And they also have an incredible and young defense. Like
that is true. Yep.
The Bucks, honestly, like if they can find a young stud quarterback within the next 2 years, that could potentially be another dynasty in the making right there. With how incredibly young and gifted that.
I'm in. Tyler will probably be in too. Sixers playoff, you in?
Am I in?
If you want to be in.
You want me on a Sixers podcast? You got.
Okay. And Ryan, what's good?
Howdy.
Ryan, we gotta talk. Like, we gotta talk and catch up, bro. So, hold on. So, let's talk about the Eagles possibly going back up to 10. Now, you and I talked about this a little bit, and I did make a video on it. So, I want to hear your thoughts.
So, for me, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yo, Hunter, I'm just busting your balls. Okay, you don't have to worry.
I get, like, if Pettis is still there at 10, because there's absolutely no way Jamar Chase is still going to be there. Like, if Pettis is still there after 10 in some weird, elaborate way that Elliott Shore Parks made up, and he's there for them to trade up to 10, I still don't really understand then what the point of trading out of the top 10 was at that point. Because at that point, you got an extra first round for next year, which in order to trade back up in the top 10, you're going to have to get rid of probably one of your first rounds next year on top of your first round for this year. So then, what are we doing? Where are we going? What was the point of trading down if we're trading right back up and we're giving up what we got?
Well, I was watching this guy by Joey, I forget his last name on it, but he was talking about having like those extra picks like lined up. So we do have 11 picks in this year, bro. We do have 11.
Don't get me wrong, like if literally we had a competent GM, I would be very excited for our future. But we got Howie Roseman, so I can't be that excited for 11 picks.
I can't. I mean, I was just like, maybe, and then we throw Ertz in. I know you and I were talking about you think he's not going to be traded, but it is possibility for us to trade. Can I finish?
Okay.
It is possible for us to trade up to get picks and have Ertz in there. But then you did bring up the 2 tight end system does not work. You said that. So it's like a 50-50. For me, it's 50-50.
It's just, if you're taking Pettis at number 10 when we still have Dallas Goddard, it feels like you're now trying to create another controversy on purpose at this point. Because it's like, there's nothing wrong with Goddard. Goddard is honestly still one of the better, if not one of the best, young tight ends in the league. Like, his upside is still incredible. You know, like, there's a reason that they're already naming him the starter for this upcoming season. Over Ertz, if he does stay. It's because they see how much potential he has, but still, in order to trade back into that top 10, like, ignoring logic and just say, you know what, we're going to continue with their 2 tight end system, we want to get Pettis. If you still trade Zach Ertz, I still think they're going to want more than just Zach Ertz in your first rounder this year. Because Zach Ertz, I think, is with how he's already said he's not re-signing with any team, I feel he's worth like a 3rd rounder. So at that point, I still think you're giving up your 2 first rounders and then Zach Ertz.
I mean, I'm really intrigued on what he's going to do. Like, this is the most important draft in Eagles history, I feel like.
It's not just the most important draft in Eagles history. This is Howie Roseman's job on the line right here. At least it should be.
Knowing Jeffrey Lurie, I don't know about that, though. Like, I wanted to be Howie Roseman. I wanted Howie Roseman out a couple years ago. Even before the Super Bowl, I wanted him out.
If Jeffrey Lurie does not fire Howie Roseman if this draft goes terribly wrong and he, for some ungodly reason, trades back up to 10 and gives up all the value that we just got off the Dolphins, what little we got, and throws in Ertz, and if Pettis does not develop well within these 2 seasons, he has to be fired. And if he's not, then that means Howard Roseman must have some real bad dirt on Jeffrey Lurie.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. And we're going to be live broadcasting it. You and I are going to be right here live broadcasting it.
Yo, I really don't.
Huh?
I don't want to get mad on draft night.
I don't either. And guys, this is fresh on my mind right now. On Tuesday, we are interviewing a Bleacher Report writer, Jake Fisher. So be here Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Now, Hunter, if you're still in the chat, or if not, I'll DM you later. Be here Tuesday night because I am going to try to have as many Philly content creators come on and ask them one question or two. I'm going to try and just have, because I have like an hour and a half time limit. So I'm going to try to have many people as possible. So whoever comes, you're in, and you'll be towards the end. So who's ever here, I'm going to have you on. Okay? And Tyler will probably be here.
Is that Tuesday?
Tuesday at 7 p.m. I know you're coming back from work. If you're coming late, perfect. That's fine.
I should be there just because I do get off at 5, so I should actually have
nice.
Well, as of now, I'm off at 5. Whether or not it stays that way is up in the air.
Okay. Tyler, this is actually for you.
Ooh,
Ryan here. Bro, have you seen the play of the Phillies?
Ryan, why do you gotta make me angry? Why do you have to remind me of that terrible series we had against the Braves? So, okay. So, for what I'm assuming many of you guys are not into baseball that much anymore. You know, it's not 2008 and 2009 anymore. We don't have one of the better teams in the league. But to say that what happened against the Braves in that series was a travesty is an understatement. The entire team looked lost. No one could hit a ball for some ungodly reason. We have a guy who was batting .50 still in the team, and when he does get on base for once, he fucks up going to third so bad that he slides over the bag and gets tagged out. He
said we do have one of the best bullpens.
I think we have the best starting bullpen. Arguably one of the better starting bullpens in the league. But when it comes to our relievers are iffy. Especially if we still have, I forget if we still have Nova in our bullpen or not, but Nova.
Everybody's overpaid now.
Nova, if he's having a bad day, I don't even want to watch the game. I don't know. It's just, especially, that does remind me, did we lose the Cardinals tonight? I can't even check because I'm using my phone to stream, but.
Yo, we just hit 10 likes. Let's go. We just hit 10 likes.
Hey, there we go.
All right. You want me to check the score for you?
I'm scared to say yes, but I'm going to say yes. I want to see if we lost 9-4.
Huh. Today, why can't I find what? It's not on the Phillies app. Wait, today's the 16th. We won.
It's the 17th, Mitchell.
Oh, we lost 4-9.
See, to say we have one of the best bullpens means that we have an overall bullpen that can get things done. And while I definitely agree, our starters are fantastic. Zach Wheeler has definitely been proven that he's been slept on. You know, Aaronola, I think, is an absolute stud on the mound.
Mm-hmm.
Even Eflin has looked good. It's just I don't have a lot of trust with our bullpen when they have an off day.
Now, I have not watched the Phillies game, so I can't say anything.
We gave up 6 runs in the third inning. 6.
That's like what's going to happen to me and you when I play MLB.
That will be in the first inning, Mitchell.
Yeah, I'll score 6 runs on you.
Uh-huh. But it's one of those things where it's like we're too inconsistent, and right now we're going through, I feel, a rough patch. Because while that win yesterday was a confidence boost, not having Bryce Harper today was a blow to the team. He's one of our better power bats. He's definitely proven to be a leader on the team. Now the guys seem to be rallying around him, and they like the guy a lot, but not having him in that lineup today, I think, hurt a lot. But there's no reason our bullpen or even our players in general should be giving up 6 runs in an inning. Like, it's one thing to give up 6 runs over the course of the game, but not in one inning. Where you should be a lot better than that.
My God. The comments I'm getting on my video, it's just like insane.
Is it ranging from you're an idiot, Lil Jokic MVP?
Yeah. All right. I don't know about you, but I kind of want to get back to football.
I mean,
unless you got something to say here. Unless you got something to say.
No. Well, we'll come. Me and Ryan will go back to this later, but
okay.
Because
I know nothing. I know jokes. It's so boring.
You will learn.
Yeah, I'm going to a Phillies game next month.
I wish I could go, but unfortunately, I don't feel like having to pay for an Uber and also plane tickets.
I'm wondering. You know what's funny though? I'm glad you brought up Uber because I just want to talk about this right now. I looked up because we had to go to my doctor's appointment in New York City, and I'm in Jersey. So I looked up how much an Uber costs. It's over $300.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's that cheap.
I really want to know how much Uber costs for you to here.
Well, it has nothing. It's not that it costs. It's just that I'm surprised that when you're driving from all the way down there up to New York, I figure I would have been like along the lines of like $600-$700.
All right, guys, share out the stream here. Share out the podcast. We're having fun right now.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think the Eagles they will be hard to watch. They will. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of the process years of the Sixers. Honestly.
That we have one of the worst GMs to try and do this process with.
At that time, Sam Hinkie was one of the worst GMs, and the NBA had to come in and intervene that. Because they were catching on us tanking. So, with the Eagles, we know we're going to suck. I want us to get the first pick next year.
I don't think we're going to be.
It's not going to be that bad. I know. But it will just be funny, in my opinion.
If we are bad.
Hey, how dare you take Tyler's side? I'm the one who introduced you to him.
I don't know if that's about the Phillies or if this is about us not going to the number 1 pick next year. But if we do somehow get the number 1 pick next year, you know what's going to happen? Rosewood's going to trade down.
Yeah.
$8 going to get what we're going to get for it. We'll get a first and a second.
Yeah.
Man doesn't know how to do good trades.
I know. It's sad. It's really sad here.
It is the saddest of boy hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. The Blazers, Greg Oden, Brandon Roy, Aldridge, their trio went 50-12.
Surprised it was that little.
Yeah, because Brandon Roy was a monster. Greg Oden's is injured, so we're going to say Brandon Roy.
They signed Lamar Odom. Who was on crack?
All right, guys, I want to know in the chat here. Tyler and I were talking about this earlier. Who would you take, the Chiefs or the Browns? Like, I really want to know.
Well, what if you don't want to know, Mitchell? What if the entire thing was actually a social experiment and we just wanted to see how many people would actually comment? Like,
Who knows? The world will never know.
but we'll know. Just like we know how many licks it is to get to the bottom of a Tootsie.
Oh, come on. Stop taking Tyler's side, people.
Hey, don't be mad. Listen.
I can delete this whole thing with the press of a button.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful as she's.
Yeah, and you suck at Rogue.
You'll make me laugh.
Thank you. Now, Robert, you know who introduced you to him. Don't be mad. Hey, I'm giving you YouTube tips.
It's a reference to the trash bags, Mitchell.
What do you mean?
The Glad trash bags? Or is it the plates? No, it's the plates. The Glad plates. They had the slogan, don't get mad, get glad.
Wait, Foothills, are you really getting that shirt made? Because if you are, I'll consider it.
Well, Mike Schmidt went up in price.
Oh my god. Dude, I want to play Rogue after this. Play with me.
I'm not playing Rogue. After this, I'm eating. Then I might play a little bit more of this. And then I'm going to bed.
Wow.
Because I need sleep. I've been up since 5 this morning.
True. Now, guys, give me any moves that you wanted the Eagles to make or anything. No, what moves do you want the Eagles to make in the draft? Anything possible. Trade up, trade back, do whatever, do a little dance. Just
do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight, get down tonight.
Tyler, give me the face when I'm better than you at Rogue.
There is no face for that because it doesn't happen.
It's that face.
No, this is just my normal face.
Foothills wants to trade back up.
But here's the thing. Well, I do believe
Tyler
position
becoming punchy? I don't get what that means.
Are you saying I got a punchable face, mister? You want to go, mate? All right, let's go.
He's 39 years old.
You pay for the plane ticket. We'll do it. Let's go.
He's 39 years old. Just hit 500 subscribers. He can kick your ass.
Yeah, I see. I want a corner as well. I don't know if Horn is going to fall. Because I honestly think Horn could be the best corner in the draft over Surtain. Because I've watched a couple of highlight clips. And Horn just looks absolutely incredible in coverage. And he even had the ability to rush up and get some good pressure on the quarterback as well on those blitzes. It's insane.
Now, I just want to say this real quick. It's off topic right now. But I went to Full Hills live stream. I think I told you this. And he was using sink or swim.
Yeah, taking my ideas now, Foothills. I see how it is, Foothills. Copyright striking you. Be down as we speak.
All right.
Your YouTube channel is mine.
That's a little harsh now. Do you wish you traded for James Harden now? Yes. I made a mistake by saying I did not want to trade Simmons for Harden. I said that.
Did we make a mistake, Mitchell? Do we need to be punished for making a mistake?
What about your mistake of letting me play Fortnite?
No, my mistake was letting you think you were good at Rogue.
I am good. I'm better than you.
You're a funny man, Mitchell.
Look at my last stat line I sent you.
Cool, you can pop off for one game, or you can assist the player, Mr. Mitchell.
I just don't try. Don't try.
This man over here playing a tactical shooter like it's Call of Duty.
I'm not trying, you bum. All right. Seriously, so Foothills wants to trade back up. Tyler wants to stay put. For me, it's 50-50.
Like, if we're trading up, I don't want us to go into top 10 again. I think it's going to be too expensive.
Yeah, it's a risk.
All right. Well, are we good? Are we done? Or did we finish all the topics?
I think we did, unless you want to figure something out.
Unless you want to hear an old man ramble about baseball, I think that answer should stay no.
All right, guys. Tyler's about to, head out.
Tyler is hungry.
The Thunder have 34 picks this year. Yeah. No, not this year. Combined. In the future.
That would be like the entire first round if it 4 in the second.
Yeah.
That would have some fancy trading on their board to get that many picks.
All right, guys. We're about to head out here. Thanks a lot for coming on. It was real fun, even though I schooled Tyler and everything. But Tuesday night, everyone be there. I'm gonna tweet about it nonstop. I'm gonna make videos about it nonstop. I just want people to come and enjoy. And if you're a Philly content creator, I'm gonna want you to be there. I'll have you on, and Tyler's getting pissed at me.
No, I'm doing the Bryce Harper thing.
What?
You didn't see the meme where I think it was like Alec Boehm or someone was doing an interview, and he was literally just standing behind him going, "This guy."
No.
The entire time.
No, I did not.
That was like all over Twitter for a day. Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm seriously gonna end it now. MK out. See ya.